The year is 2023. The movie is rated PG-13. The movie is 1 hour and 33 minutes long. An astronaut crash lands on a mysterious planet only to discover he's not alone. Or, after a catastrophic crash on an unknown planet, pilot Mills quickly discovers he's actually stranded on Earth 65 million years ago. Now, with only one chance at rescue, Mills and the only other survivor, Koa, must make their way across an unknown terrain riddled with dangerous prehistoric creatures in an epic fight to survive. The movie is 65!
You've reached Hall in Mockery.
I'll call you back.
I'm Joey. How we doing?
I'm Landon. Nice to see you.
Now, Landon, this movie has a special place in our hearts.
Oh, absolutely. We saw it together.
Yes. And I had a grilled cheese before.
And I had lukewarm bagel bites.
He had grilled cheese. We had grilled cheese two ways, is what they call it.
Yeah.
Landon's was open face and small. Mine was small and closed.
Just barely heated up in a microwave.
Mine was smaller than a grilled cheese I'd make at home, and it only cost $15.
But enough about our God.
No.
Enough about our
No
God.
more of that. Yes.
We cannot speak of that anymore.
Mr. Grilled Cheese, we thank you every day. What we actually want to talk to you about is the movie 65. And now you're probably thinking, what? Isn't that the age when you can get those grilled cheese sandwiches for cheaper? Well, yes.
I think I'd like to have the cottage cheese as the side.
Is that $1 extra?
Not for you, sugar.
Oh, why'd you kiss me there?
No, we saw 65.
The movie.
Starring Adam Driver. And basically, he's doing it all himself. No, he has a wonderful little co-star. Her character name is Koa. And the actor's name is
Ariana Greenblatt.
You're going to be seeing her in a lot of stuff. I'm predicting.
I'm predicting. Could I just predict? I think 5 major franchises.
Within the next 2 years is my prediction.
And I don't even have IMDb Pro.
No.
I am an IMDb Pro.
Yes, me
But if
too.
you're going to make me pay for it, I spit on your grave.
Yes, but I happen to see that my star meter has risen up to about...
Mine went down. Seriously, the last thing
I know.
I went on to search for this movie.
Yeah.
The last thing I looked for was me. And then the thing I searched for before that was 65. So sometime between seeing the movie,
You're like, I
was
probably
like,
could have been in
do
that
I have
movie.
a picture on IMDb yet? No.
So that Adam Driver can see me?
I wish. He'd be like, you're very handsome.
You think he'd say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. No, he seems really cool.
I think he gets my angle because he's taller than me. He's not getting what is forming under my chin. He's like,
Yeah, he gets your angle.
he's like, he knows I need to start doing HIIT, which is high intensity interval training.
Yes.
And he knows that I'm probably going to start doing the thing where you fast, where you say, I could fast 16 hours and then eat for 8. I could do that.
Yeah.
And then you realize that's like, you can't eat until 1 p.m. And then after 9, it's like, ring. And you go, I don't know about this.
You know what's interesting about that is like, if you just eat at a normal time at night, you basically are doing that.
I don't think Adam Driver's square. I think his pants were just high.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad we put that to rest.
So the movie begins. I guess, should we give our first initial thoughts?
Like, is it good? Oh, before we spoil it?
Before we spoil,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we had fun.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I would definitely recommend you see it.
See it in a theater.
Yeah.
I saw someone say you should see Everything Everywhere All at Once in the IMAX, and I take their statement and I cross out that movie just because it's not playing in theaters anymore.
Yeah, it was like a year ago.
I take the little tape. You know when they do the Wired and they ask the questions?
Yeah.
It's like, why is Judd Nelson being that way? Right?
Sure. Yeah. It's
And
like,
they peel the tape off. Take that tape and peel it over everything everywhere all at once. And on that, write with your little Sharpie 65. See it in a theater, see it loud.
yeah.
Oh, I'm
It's
sorry.
like-
Are we going over on time?
No.
If you're
no.
watching the video, Landon just checked his phone to see if he's getting any calls from Hollywood. Well, guess what? You're not. Because we're not done talking about the movie yet.
I just wanted to see if Sam Raimi reached out.
Hey, guys.
That's not going to get us in with Sam Raimi.
Oh, crap. Cut that out.
So Jay Leno called and said,
Hey, what are you guys doing?
There. Okay, I like the movie. I think it was really great. Just a couple small issues, but I really don't. And here's what I'll say. My wife, who saw the movie with me, she historically does not like any of the things in this movie. She likes Adam Driver.
Okay.
But otherwise, she, for one, didn't really know anything about the movie going into it. Right as we were walking into the theater, she was like, "What is this movie, by the way?" And I was like, "Yeah, just sit down. Just sit down. You're going to be in for a 1.5 hour thrill ride." But I was a little kind of worried. I mean, she likes horror films. She likes suspense films. She liked A Quiet Place and that sort of stuff, which a lot of the sort of DNA is in this movie of A Quiet Place. And,
Dino DNA.
So I figured she would like it, but recently she's discovered that she does maybe like sci-fi, which is a very interesting sort of thing that's happening in our house. But she turned to me after the movie and she said, "I loved this movie."
Yeah.
And that's all you need to know as far as I'm concerned.
Because you know what you're getting yourself into. It's not pretending to be something it's not.
She didn't.
I think you're also getting a little more than what
Yeah.
you thought.
Yeah.
Okay? And we'll get into that, huh?
Well, especially with some of the reviews, and I hate to bring it up, but a lot of reviews are saying this movie is very bad.
Yeah.
Or, you know, actually, most of the reviews I've seen are just like, yeah, it's whatever, which is fine. You know, I mean, it's...
Yeah.
I can see some of that, but...
And we'll get into the issues that I had.
Sure.
I'm going to be honest. Mr. Woods, Mr. Beck,
Yeah.
if you're watching this, just know it's going to get real. And I say that saying that I like this movie. And guess what? Don't be scared. Don't turn it off. I know you're now watching a TikTok that you can see on the bottom is 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
And you're stuck here with us. Just let it play out.
Just let it
okay?
play out.
Should we talk about the secret about the version we went and saw?
The Secret of the U's?
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead.
They were
Spoiler.
there.
They were there.
The writer and director were there with us. We stood we all stood in the theater and we made the outline of Iowa. We all stood and formed a big outline and we held hands and we said, "We are Iowa." Bum ba bum 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 bum.
And then we went, "Whoa!"
This is the movie you've been waiting for.
And then we all said, "We're kind of like you." And they said, "We had Sam Raimi direct or produce our movie."
A line of aspiring filmmakers, screenwriters, etc. formed a line, had their scripts ready, and they said, yeah, "Guys, I know, we were there." I know.
They just took out a lighter, and everyone, as they walked by with their scripts, they just lit them all on fire. 'Cause they said, "We can't. Oh, we know. We don't have time to read all these." Don't get political.
No, I'd never. It's true. I'd never. So, yeah, we saw it, and I really enjoyed their little Q&A session.
Well, that's going to
afterwards.
play a little into my review of the movie. Unfortunately, I didn't see this movie in a vacuum. Okay, I didn't get sucked up. You ever watch a movie in a vacuum?
No, they're usually too small.
Yeah, the movies or the vacuum.
Yes.
Score. So let's get into the movie.
Okay,
Now that we
please.
know that we had fun.
Yes. The movie starts with a little. I'll be honest. Right when the movie started, I said, uh-oh.
Why?
Because it kind of starts like the beginning of Men in Black or something, or like the end of Men in Black, where the world is marbles and you're spilling them all over a pool table or whatever.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of exposition right up top.
The camera moves through the universe, and you're seeing a bunch of galaxies and stuff, which it's kind of seemed like was trying to be impressive, but it was like, we've seen this now for like 40 years. You can do space in movies.
Yeah.
And it looks convincing. It's not doing anything for me at this point. But
If this was your first time directing a movie, I'm sorry, I'm getting choked up here. If someone said, "Oh, this isn't their first time directing a movie,"
no.
they did Hound. Did a couple things.
Yeah.
But if you said, we're gonna have space in your movie, I'd say, okay. I'd be excited. But here's what I think. I don't think, and I could be wrong, and this is where I invite them to come here, sit at this long table that Landon built for this review,
Yeah.
and tell us I'm wrong about this. But I think the exposition up top is where the little studio notes start creeping in.
Yeah.
You have to give this. You can't just say we're on like Jason Momoa or whatever.
Right.
Planet Momoa.
Yeah.
You can't just do that, okay? Because no one knows what that means. You have to say, like, in the beginning, there was Adam and Eve, and then in parentheses it says not Steve.
Yeah.
Right?
And then in another parentheses it says, by the way, the Adam is Adam Driver. And then in more parentheses, the Eve is his wife.
Yes.
And we are about to see them in a couple of seconds as soon as these titles fade away.
There was something else in there that said, like, and if you think about an Adam's apple, yeah, that's named after, because he bit it.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's like, he didn't.
No, it was her.
That's what I don't get. So that was right off the bat very confusing. So then they zoom into Planet Momoa,
Yeah.
and of course it has the swirly rocks, and you say, "That's no moon," right?
This is a moon. You turn to the person next to you. And you drop trow. Because what the?
Sorry, my pants are so heavy when I dropped them.
Okay.
Oh my god!
It's that Amex Black card that you have. The big metal credit card. In your wallet.
That's what I paid for the popcorn. I set it on the table, and the table collapsed. And I made them pick it up, and guess what they were looking at when they stood back up? And they said, "That's a moon."
So I think that you're right. I think the studio is probably like, we need to set this up a little better. But better, not meaning actually better. Better meaning for the fools watching the movie who aren't going to get it.
Right.
Because I imagine they just open. You just open on a beach, a family at a beach. Seems normal. Because also you have to imagine you're not making the movie thinking that the trailers are going to spoil the twist.
Right.
So imagine Adam Driver and his family on a beach, and maybe the camera is kind of moving around them, and you're seeing a giant swirly rock, and you're like, that's kind of like Earth, but it's kind of not.
Yeah. What's this? What's this? Is that a swirly cliff? What's this?
And I'm sitting there looking at that, and I'm like, God, I love movies.
Yeah, that's when I said, "Hey, this is cool."
Yeah,
But just show that, and then that's you. I don't have a pea brain. Okay?
Right.
So I look at that and I say, that's no moon. I'm not gonna do the whole joke again.
No, please.
Take my wife, please. So you see that and you just get into it. Boom, boom, boom. Right?
Yeah, because you set up that you're maybe the audience is still thinking, is this Earth later or something? You know, you're confused a little bit maybe. Like the lowest common denominator audience member is still like, they're on Earth, but I've never seen a rock like that.
They must be in Bolivia.
But then,
Olivia, give me my coat. We're leaving.
yes, Dad. But then you go later when he does go to what we know is Earth.
And because the movie was so short, I could go later. I didn't have to get up and take a little tinkle in the middle of the movie.
That's true. When you, if they were watching, they've stopped. You do go to Earth, and you do reveal the situation, and then the title screen comes on.
Yep.
65 gung 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 billion years ago
Yes.
on Earth. That's when you're like, I thought we were on Earth at the beginning of the movie.
Okay, that explains the rock things being different.
Like
And he's kind of futuristic too.
it all gets resolved within the first 15 minutes. Like it's not, so that's one of those things where you're like, yeah, that's probably a studio, and maybe not. Maybe they want, this will kind of go into my bigger musings about the movie probably, but it seems very serious. The whole thing is very serious.
Yeah.
But those titles and stuff feel very B-movie.
Yeah.
They're like very adventure serial, like Star Wars-esque, where there's less. Those seem like you're gonna have more fun, more knowing fun, like the movie's in on the joke of like, this is a crazy concept. Like that's what those titles set up to me as I'm watching it. And then you get the movie and it's like actually serious basically the whole time. There's some humor amongst the characters, but the movie isn't joking. The characters are joking, which I'm glad. And there were a couple moments where I thought the Marvel sort of joke was going to come. She learns how to say shit when she's mad. I thought for sure near the end when he's in the tar pits or something, I thought for sure she was going to help him out and say shit or something. And
he stood up and applauded when that didn't happen.
I was so happy to see that it's not in there. There were a couple different times where he gets stuff on him. I was like, she's going to say it. She's going to say it. But they fought the urge to do that. Maybe it wasn't an urge at all, but
Probably wasn't in the script at all. Well, not even a thought. I was like, what's he?
yeah, probably not. But yeah, you know, the movie is serious the whole time. But those titles put me off immediately. Initially, I shouldn't say immediately. I mean immediately in the sense that was my first thought, not like harshly.
I think it added to my the expenditure. What am I trying to say here? The expediency, the expedition of how fast the beginning went, because we get a bunch of information in text.
Yeah, that's how you say
Here's
it.
what you need to know.
Yeah.
And then we get on a beach. They do the hand thing, which I just tried to do and I can't do. Landon's going to try to do it now, folks.
I can't even put my hands right.
No, you put your thumbs are together, right? He's kind of got it. So okay. So he can't do it either. They do that, then she's like, you're going away, and he goes, 2 years. And they go, she's sick, and he goes, I know. And then so I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I knew it was an hour and a half, and I was like, we're hitting all the story points. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's fine with me. I get that
course.
he has a family. Okay. I get that he loves his daughter.
Yep.
I get that he's driving a ship. I get that everyone else is in cryo.
Yeah.
And he gets a pillow. He gets a Tempur-Pedic pillow. Hold on.
Can I say just about the beach scene though? It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's perfect in my opinion. Because as you say, you get all these things character-wise. The two actors are immediately compelling together. They have a chemistry where you say, this girl is his daughter. Imagine that's what happens. And she's just like, what are you doing? Did this young actor not look exactly like what the daughter of Adam Driver and the actor playing his wife would look like?
Yeah.
It was like you'd found his actual daughter, but just
You found, like, that would be hard to do.
he's like, that's my daughter. Of course, she looks like me. But yeah, it's just perfect. And setting up. So this scene does character, it does plot, and it sets up character in the future. It's a perfect little 2-minute scene. That's all you need.
Well, I was just going to say, of course, life's a beach, and then you die. So then we're in the ship. Because why? Asteroid. We weren't expecting that to be in the sky. Asteroid belt. It was not on the map. Okay? That's the scary thing about space travel. You got the whole universe mapped out, you think. Boom, boom, boom.
Why did it take so long for him to wake up?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. People could be heavy sleepers, right? He's probably got some sort of cryo juice. Like, he doesn't fully go into cryo.
Yeah.
But he's like, Daddy needs to sleep. So he goes into cryo sleep. He wakes up. Ship's crashing.
Sure.
There's a planet there. Thank God. Okay? Everyone.
All cryo people are dead.
Sad, right?
Yeah, he goes out. He's something else I love. A little detail. He goes out in a ship. He gets his little suit on. He goes out in the ship. The little thing that he's standing on breaks and he falls into the water.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, that would happen.
I know. They didn't have to do that, and it scared me.
Yeah, it's just a perfect little detail of a real human moment. And it's kind of, I mean, God, is it kind of a reference to the stormtrooper hitting him head? I mean, it's kind of similar to that, isn't it? It's like maybe that actually happened on set, and they're like, you know what? Keep it. Keep it. I don't know, but it's perfect either way.
So then we get to the crux of it all, right? He tells his little walkie-talkie. Everyone is dead. Send help to me, right? It's just him.
Yeah.
And something we don't know yet, though, he doesn't really care if he goes home. So he thinks about it, deletes it, and he says, everyone's dead. Leave me alone. And he goes outside with his gun, and you go, oh my God.
Yeah.
But his daughter, little do we know,
Yeah.
right? I didn't know. I didn't put that together yet.
No,
I
not
was
yet.
like, oh my, and he's going to do it?
Well, that's what I was. Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? You still have to get home for your daughter?
Yeah.
Don't give up on the.
And then I'm thinking of, like, what are the logistics of where he is? How long has he been gone? Like, how far is he from making it back?
Right.
Okay.
Well, then we find out they've been gone for like a year or something like
So
that.
is he on his way back?
No.
Or is he's still going?
He's on the way to the destination because I believe they're going to set up a new civilization or an exploratory mission of a possible new planet to call their own, I believe.
So it's like, okay, I guess I understand that maybe they don't have the resource, or sending a rescue mission for this one guy could be a problem. He doesn't want someone to come to get him and they crash too or something, right?
Yeah, you're kind of rationalizing why he would do this, even though we know he has to get home to his daughter. But, of course, we don't know yet exactly what's going to be revealed later.
So he says, no, we're not going to do that. Then he finds one person.
He goes out. He's about to kill himself. Now, he doesn't.
Okay. Well, that's our episode, folks.
I just was putting together that I was thinking of The Last of Us. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, oh no. So as you were saying.
Me? Goes out, tries to kill himself.
Yes.
Doesn't. Okay? Why?
Yeah, I don't know, but
Thinks better of it, says maybe no.
Maybe
I mean,
no.
he still has a wife. right?
We can assume, although we don't know. Maybe she split up with him because he was gone.
He was gone, yes.
Although he didn't want to go. See, this is where I think there's a 2-hour movie here somewhere where he's blaming himself for not being with his daughter. His wife, there's something more there. Maybe not, because they did say they wanted to streamline the story as much as possible, and they set out to make a simple movie, a simple story, and they did it very well. So maybe not, but you do wonder, like, God, that would take a toll on a marriage, yes,
yeah,
especially when she was the one that was like, "Go, she'll be fine," and he's like, "No, she's gonna die." So I bet he has a lot of resentment towards her.
Yes.
So there's a much darker movie. Not that this one, I mean, this was.
Well, he's not going because of her. He's going for her.
Right.
And now that the mission has failed, and on two fronts, not only is the mission a complete waste, it doesn't matter because his daughter died too.
Yeah.
So you've got no reason. He did it for nothing. Okay?
Do you think that he should feel guilty that all of those people died?
No.
Really?
He got hit by an asteroid. What was he supposed to do? Not sleep? It wasn't on the map.
I know. I don't know. It seemed like,
I mean,
those alarms were going off telling.
Yeah.
That,
you would feel guilt. I mean, I think you would.
I think you would too, because you're like.
But I think if I lived on Mon Mothma with him,
yeah,
and he came back and be like, "I'm sorry, I killed everyone," I'd be like, "Hey, it's not."
No, if your family was one of the Goombas in the sleepers, and he'd be like, "I'm sorry, I slept too hard," I'd be like, "That's not a good excuse."
Yeah,
screw you. It's your job to get them there safe.
Because what's the technology of this world?
Well, that's because
I don't know.
if he just didn't press his snooze button one more time, and the alarm is going off for 30 seconds, and then the asteroid hits.
Yeah.
And then he runs out. He's like, "Oh, I got to go do something." And he runs, and then he's like, just...
It's a sort of space Titanic thing.
Yeah.
They said turn the ship. I don't think they did. Right?
Yeah.
They said, we want to hit it.
It'd be better to hit it than to not. You're like, okay, I guess you're a scientist, right? Well, we know how much science is true.
Yeah. Here we go.
So of course, I'm kidding.
So he finds that there is, in fact, a person that's like, seems she's not dead.
I just think, I feel bad about things that I've accidentally said, like times I've stuck my foot in my mouth, metaphorically speaking. And the time I did literally do
Foot
it.
mouth disease.
I think you would have to feel a little bit guilty. I feel guilty about things that didn't even happen in my life.
Yeah. So maybe that's the other thing.
I would think that there's an even darker movie where he didn't wake up because he was self-medicating with drugs or alcohol.
He's having a little...
Because he just got the video of his daughter being like, I can't, I'm just so tired.
Well, how mean do you want the movie to be to this guy? He gets the video of his daughter.
I'm saying,
"Goodbye, Dad," and he's like, "Go." And then he wakes up and everyone's dead. He's like, "Oh no!"
I know, that's what I mean. I'm saying there's a darker, more, and I think potentially more emotionally compelling movie, but a less effective movie.
Wow.
So and that's just kind of what it comes down to. There's so many ways that you can make a story.
That's interesting.
There's so many ways you can tell a story. It's just fun to sit back and think, God, this could have been a completely different thing. I wish it was. How so many people do. Like, people will criticize a movie based on what it is not.
What they wanted it to be.
Yeah. Well, it could have been like this. Well, yeah, but it wasn't. So why don't we talk about what it is?
And what it is
So why'd you bring up all this?
Well, I just thought we should talk about the movie because I'm going on a mission. I'll be gone for 2 years. And you have a disease.
No!
So he finds the little girl. Doesn't speak his language. That's the other thing, okay? Now, here's where it gets a little tricksy, frickin' hobbits, okay? I don't know what you're saying. So he draws her a picture of a point, okay?
Uh-huh.
And he says, up here, family.
Yes.
And she knows family.
And by the way, no, not the Harry Nilsson soundtrack album and cartoon special, The Point, where everyone has a pointy head and everyone and other people have round head. Mm-hmm. That's not what he's drawing a picture of.
This is different than that, I think. Because he draws people next to the point and we see that they have normal heads. So we can assume that everyone on this planet has normal heads.
Circle heads. Well,
that's as far as we know them.
The fact that you're saying normal means that you've never seen The Point.
Yes.
The point is anyone can have a head shaped strangely.
Well, I've seen cone heads. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
So we see that he lies to this little girl. And we see that.
We see it.
He goes, yes, we have to get to the top of the mountain because your family's up there.
Family, yes.
It's an escape pod. But he doesn't know how to tell her.
He doesn't know how to tell her
And he
that her
doesn't-
family's gone.
And he doesn't tell us that either. We have to find that out ourselves, right?
What do you mean?
Well, because he looks at a little thing and it's like, Kawa, relatives perished in crash that you caused. And it shows their faces blinking like game over, man.
Well, we kind of know because, we know that they're all gone.
Right. Well, I thought maybe they were on that planet. Like they were trying to he's like, well, you got to get you back to your parents. This is all,
back
this is all
home.
Frenched up.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yes.
This is all Frenched up.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got to get your parents back home.
Gotcha.
Wait, no, we got to get you back home to your parents, not your parents back home. Oh, God.
Okay.
No, he lied to her.
Yeah, he lied to her.
This is where it gets a little sticky for me with the language thing.
Yeah.
Because she can kind of understand. He's like, I'm sorry I lied to you. I mean, I know she can. And he's like, and you can't even understand what I'm saying. But he's like, your family's dead or something. And she starts hitting him later. Because she's like, how could you be how could you lie to me? I'm
Yeah.
a child.
Later, she kind of understands completely the gravity of the situation.
Right.
When instead, I don't know. Yeah, it kind of falls apart at that point, yes?
Yeah. But that's okay because we've got a lot to cover before we get there. And we're going to do it fast, like the movie.
Yeah.
Dinosaur.
See a giant dinosaur. Wait.
Hoof.
A hoof.
print.
Well, yes, and that's actually, yeah.
And then is that when we see the title?
Yeah.
About 15, 20 minutes in?
Well, he goes to save her from the little pod. Mm-hmm. And he's basically, he looks at the pod, and you can kind of see it happening in his eyes already, that he's found a new lease on life, in a way, where he sees a little girl, and now retroactively, you can look back and be like, well, that's the moment.
Yep.
That he, in his mind, sort of, like, I'm not going to, I couldn't save my daughter, I'm going to save this one.
Yes.
But anyway, so he gets her out. Then he sees the giant T-Rex footprint. Then the titles 65 million years ago. And then we get to the part where he draws the mountain and stuff. And then they set out to find the escape pod that's over on another mountaintop. She thinks she's going to see her parents. He's trying to get her to an escape pod to go back home, save her life.
65 million years ago on Earth. Okay, surprise. Guess where they landed?
Earth.
This is an interesting point that I have to make. Let me think about it.
Do it with the microphone next to your mouth.
There something on the wing.
Yes.
What is my point?
Is it The Point? The Harry Nelson?
I think I've seen Coneheads.
Yeah.
So and say what you're gonna say.
Well, I guess I don't know. The Earth thing? Are you mad that the Earth...
65 million years ago on Earth. I'm not mad about it.
Did we say that here or on the other show where it would have been way better to not have been spoiled by the trailers?
Well, I think we said more that you kind of hinted at the beginning.
Oh.
That without the trailers giving it away, because the movie is called 65. You'd think they named it that to be a little ambiguous.
Yeah, it's like a Cloverfield thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the Cloverfield paradox.
Yeah.
Which is that 65. Okay, what does that mean? And then maybe at that point in the movie they would reveal it to you. Just so you know, these aren't alien dinosaurs. They've landed on Earth. Okay?
Well, and I have to say, when I had heard that this movie was going into production, a new film called 65, starring Adam Driver, a sci-fi thriller from the writers of A Quiet Place and all that stuff. I was like, I'll see it on Adam Driver Sci-Fi. That's all I need to have me tune in.
I think the thing we don't get from from the trailers and stuff would be that it's not a time travel film.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was, he's gone back and he lives in the future, probably, further. He lives in 2304 or something crazy. And then he goes back in time. That's not this.
That's not this.
This is a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Better.
Because, it doesn't really make sense if he's taking a bunch of people back in time and they crash into an asteroid. That's not this movie. But this is where we get to the aliens and the very loud stuff in the theater.
Yeah. So from here on, you have basically a series of chases that happen, tension that happens. I guess there's not really, in my opinion, much to talk about, except that it's done pretty well.
Here's what I wanted to say, and this I'm going to get so much flack for this.
This I'm going to get a flack for.
I know that these people are from a different planet. I know we are calling them humans, but they are just humanoid, right? I know they speak English, or at least he does, right?
I hate what you're about to say. Go ahead.
When he sees the escape pod in the binoculars, not exactly what you thought I was going to say, is it?
No.
The thing says, escape pod 15 kilometers away.
Yeah, that is what I thought you were going to say.
Why? I know it's all made up.
Why do you want it to say escape pod 50 Goombas away?
I said like 15 parsecs away. Okay, I get it. It's far away. Because now I'm thinking of what is a kilometer? And I don't know. I don't know what 15 kilometers away. Can't you see 5 miles away?
I get tired.
If you're going to do this, why are you going a metric system?
I get tired of this bullshit.
No, you don't. Because when we reviewed The Last Jedi, I had to sit here where you're like, he says they're sitting ducks.
That's not The Last Jedi. That's episode 1, Phantom Menace.
That's Phantom Menace?
Yes, that's George. George messed up his own
They're sitting
language.
ducks.
Yes.
How is that? What is he messing up?
This
if they can have kilometers,
No. Okay.
George can have ducks.
Well, I agree. George Lucas can do no wrong, of course. And Daddy can do no wrong. But my point in Star Wars is that he has created a world where there's not zippers, there's not buttons. Mm-hmm. This is not anything that you know. Mm-hmm. To say we're sitting ducks is such a specifically English turn of phrase, or not even turn of phrase, a figure of speech, in such a specific time, a specific figure of speech in the English spoken language that is just takes me out of the movie.
Kind of like kilometers.
No, because kilometers. This movie doesn't have a set world.
If they said we're like sitting Goombas out here,
that would have been fine with me too. But it doesn't take me out of the movie to be.
Or we're like parsec Goombas out here.
I don't know what a kilometer is, so I don't care. It's alien to me no matter what.
Because they do that. I mean, they still do that even in the new Mandalorian episodes. He's like, you smell like a rungkong.
You can do that. But I don't care if you do or not. In Star Wars, I want you to do that because you've set it up that you're going to do that.
I'm just curious about why it's metric.
And here's the other thing. And actually, this is something I thought was going to happen just when I saw the trailer. I thought, and it doesn't really matter because it doesn't happen in the movie at all, and the movie's completely different. But I thought from the trailer, we might be seeing the origin of the human species in this movie.
Yes,
I thought he was going to travel, crash land on the planet. Mm-hmm. He would cause the sort of extinction of the dinosaurs unknowingly with his crash land, and it's sort of positing a a fictional history where no, it wasn't an asteroid that destroyed the land before time. 'Twas a spaceman. And he gets down and dirty with someone named Eve that he finds. And then they create, and then that's where Kilometers comes
You
from.
wanted them to make the most controversial movie of all time.
No, it's just fun, speculative historical fiction.
With the way the Bible Belt is right now, you want these guys to come out and say, Adam's a little skeevy man from a different planet.
I
think that'd be awesome.
I thought that just from the trailers, I was like, oh, this might be kind of cool.
Well, you know what would have been cool? She draws the family in the cave. Mm-hmm. And I went, oh, I bet they should show this at the, when we find cave drawings.
Yeah.
Because when you're underground, asteroids not getting down there for millions and millions
Well,
of
that's
years.
what I'm saying.
So I'm
Now-
like, she was the first cave person drawing.
So let's bring it back to your Kilometers issue.
Verse, which is about 9 miles. Could have said that.
You think that the cave drawing's still intact, but you don't think some random Neanderthal picked up the little piece of technology that he had left behind, the binoculars themselves, and when it said, hello, 9 kilometers to the left is a Starbucks. And he's like, 9 kilometers. And that's the origin of our language.
Yeah. Beckett, hey, if you guys are out there watching this, look, we're just like you. All right? We've been making stuff since we were 11, 12 years old. I get it. Well, Landon just said, I think shows me why we're just like you. Because Landon thinks the same way you thought. You thought when you put Kilometers in the movie, a Neanderthal is going to pick up the binoculars. They would say, hello, 9 kilometers to a Starbucks.
To the left.
Okay.
9 kilometers to the left is a Starbucks.
Okay. And then he would say 9 kilometers.
He would learn, 9 kilometers. We were taught by the technology of the space guy. Anyway, I'm just
I get
riffing
that.
at this point.
I like that.
I think that nitpicking about stuff like that makes me just completely furious.
Okay. Well, there's the sort of sitting ducks to it all that underlines.
But that makes sense to be mad about.
You know what? There was a funny part in this movie.
There's a
actually.
set lore. There's a set language. There's a set.
It's when you farted. No, there was a funny part in this
go ahead.
movie.
Go ahead. There's a couple funny parts. Go ahead.
The rope. I just said that like I'm.
So you think
The rope.
Your funny part is, oh yeah, no, that was a joke.
There's so much of it.
There's a lot of rope.
He gives her some rope. She goes up and ties it around something. And there is so much rope. It's a comedic amount of rope.
Yeah, it
it's like
is.
a slapstick amount. And it was just like, what?
I will say
I
that
laughed.
I laughed. It was funny. I will say that was one of the moments where I said, probably don't need it. It was at the height of the tension of
Because then he's just waiting down there.
he's waiting down there, and it's like this kind of a character moment where she's like, I'm gonna do it really well, and he's like, good job. And it's funny and it's cute and it's charming, but it's also like she could have just tied it and we go. And we go. I don't know if the laugh was worth
He's also
the-
yelling for her. And then there's
Yeah.
always that where it's like, whenever someone's yelling for someone and they don't answer,
Yeah.
and it turns out they're fine, I'm just
Yeah.
like, so why didn't they answer?
Yeah, she could have just said, 1 second.
Yeah.
Well,
no, she couldn't have.
one
Shit.
one fricka.
No, 1 kilometer.
So, okay, they encounter some dinosaurs. Eventually, here's what I want to say. They get to a cave where they're going to hole up for the night. He puts out little sensors.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, we're safe now. She discovers his little thing that can project a picture of his daughter who has passed away, and he plays it for her for a second, and she's like watching it lovingly, she's it's cool to her.
Yeah.
I guess.
I understand.
And so, and then he's like getting some sleep again.
Yeah.
The alarm goes off again for a few seconds, and I'm thinking, see, there is something wrong with, like, he can't wake up. So he's a heavy sleeper. He should not be on the job in the first place.
Yeah.
He slept through the alarm. It's his fault.
I don't know how you could sleep in situations like this.
I wouldn't.
When she goes to bed and he goes to sleep, he's like, well, we're safe now. We're in a cave. Is this before or after there's a gigantic bug in her mouth?
No, well, that's coming, isn't it?
I'm just saying, you're not safe anywhere. Anything could happen.
Well, of course. Well, so that's what's interesting. The alarms go off. Proximity alert. Proximity alert. He finally stirs. Also, though, whenever this happens, like in The Last of Us and stuff, where they're like, "You get some shut eye.
Yeah.
I'll be keeping watch." And then sometimes they fall asleep, but other times they just stay up through the whole night. I'm like, I would fall asleep. I'd have to.
That doesn't. You can't function. Then he's like, all right, now it's 15 miles to the next town.
Yeah, and you're just walking that whole time? No.
And what'd you do when you were awake? The only time I'm ever tired is when I'm supposed to wake up. If I'm just up and someone's like, hey, we're going to a midnight movie and it's midnight,
Yeah.
okay. But if you plan, you say like, hey, we're going to go to a midnight movie tomorrow.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm on 18 Benadryl.
Yeah.
I'm up till 2 or 3 in the morning every day. You tell me I'm
Yeah,
going
well,
to
you
go
have
to...
other problems. So yeah, proximity alert. He finally stirs. What the hey? We see a little bug go in her mouth. Her mouth immediately starts foaming.
Blah, 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 blah.
The whole audience is going,
Oh! What?
they're like,
I didn't
"What?"
see the bug go in.
Oh, really?
I just saw her foaming.
Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, I saw the bug go in, but I guess
Oh, yeah, me too.
I guess the reaction at first was, yeah, what? And then he opens her mouth and sees the bug. And then the audience goes, oh! But we also see a little clicker in the side in the cave, or we hear him more like. But, and then he takes one of the proximity things and delicately stabs. The whole, I don't know, the logistics of this didn't make any sense. And this is the part where I would have said, we had the chase with the flying, the pterodactyl types. We had a chase with the little lizards that were crawling everywhere and blew them up, shot them and stuff. We've had enough stuff happen. We can skip this because I also know that a T-Rex is going to appear
Yeah.
in the cave pretty soon. We don't need all this. And I think story-wise, the thought was he needs to not be aware that a T-Rex is approaching. He needs to be preoccupied with a bug in her mouth for some reason, but it doesn't go anywhere. He just immediately stabs it.
I'm wondering about a couple things about this. Her foaming at the mouth seems to some sort of poison, like something's affecting her body, right?
Yeah.
Like killing it shouldn't necessarily mean she's better.
fine. She's immediately like,
And like it's just on her tongue. And then yes, you brought up what I wanted to bring up, which is I think the way they shot this and the way the special effects was supposed to be done, someone was not telling someone else something because he's got his little pokey thing. And like you said, just it comes out at like he waits for it to come at him and then he just and it somehow explodes.
yeah, I don't.
Like he sticks it in his mouth. I thought he was going to stab it or like, I don't know because I'm like, what's he going to?
Well, because he kind of, it seems like he's trying to like draw it out or something.
Yeah.
He like gets close to it and it kind of goes, and then he pulls back.
Because it's not an explosive device. It's a piece of plastic.
Yeah, he just,
And it like blows
with
up.
not enough velocity, I would think, to actually.
No, it was confusing.
Yeah.
I think
you cut all of that. You wake up to the T-Rex. That's fine.
you wake up to the clicker
Or yeah, okay.
because that's what I thought the whole time. They're looking that way.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
The T-Rex.
That's what I'm saying. It was just sometimes it just felt one too many things, which
It was a
ended up-
gross bug. I liked.
It's a good gross out moment, but we had some other gross out moments when he gets the bug and the juice all over his hand and it's stuck to things. And
That's when you know, that's the days when I'm like, I know Sam Raimi's. He's standing behind the camera and he's going more guts, more guts. And they're like, Sam, calm down.
Do it.
Put a little bug in her mouth. I made this. And, what? You made that?
That was funny.
Yeah.
When his hand's stuck to the thing and he's doing a bunch of physical comedy where he's like falling all around and
The
stuff.
Chevy Chase thing?
Yeah, it's funny. He's great. I love Adam Driver. He's incredible.
They go deeper into the cave to get away from the T-Rex.
Yes, T-Rex come. They jump into a cave.
He tries to get out. He puts the little bomb in there to show her how to use it. It opens up.
Blows a little hole in it.
Yep.
She gets through. Then
He doesn't. But
he
hears-
doesn't. Oh yeah, he teaches her the whistle. No, oh yeah. So a lot of character stuff happened also during all of the dino
They're getting
chasing.
closer.
They're getting closer. He's trying to teach her the whistle that his daughter he taught his daughter. She reveals to him that she knows a way cooler whistle
Yeah.
with a different amount of fingers.
They live on a planet where everyone does this. I think a lot of people do this.
Yeah.
Me, I just pick up a big, thick piece of grass and I'm like blowing on it.
Yeah. And me, I don't whistle.
We'll be right back after this. Hey guys, we're back. Koa gets out. He's got to go back through the cave.
He goes back through the cave.
Gets out.
Well, first we do have a fight sequence, which was cool, where the binoculars are showing
The fight with the
raptor
Thing.
So the camera is just kind of panning around this device so that they don't have to spend the budget on him fighting a CGI dinosaur, which is a great idea.
We get the wireframe version, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
They're like, we can do the.
I do wonder if they saw James Gunn's Suicide Squad did basically the exact same thing. I don't know quite when things were in production. I'm sure it was not like a purposeful sort of reference, but it was just at the end of the Suicide Squad, the camera just pans around a helmet and shows the reflection of a fight scene in the helmet, and it's basically the exact same thing. Just throwing it out there.
Okay. I didn't see it.
It's cool either way.
I had to look it up. I forgot they did that. I know the Peacemaker and all.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into it.
It's cool. It's cool in this movie. I
got
love
in
it.
trouble. Everyone's mad at me on TikTok because I said I can't watch all these Marvel movies. Landon says it's not that many. It's like you watch one movie a month, or every couple of years you watch a movie, and then everyone else is commenting, being like, "I don't understand. I don't understand this guy saying he can't watch movies. Just let me have a little fun, okay?"
I like to clip you and make you look like an ass. No, I think they were.
Yeah, I like that.
No one's happy with me either.
No one's happy. I don't know why we put stuff online. So yes, the cool fight with the binoculars.
Yep. Then he gets out. What's he doing?
He falls in a
tar pit.
Yep.
Oh, and you know what's great about this movie? Everything that we were scared of as kids is in the movie. Quicksand, tar pit, dinosaurs. Things that as a child you're worried about because they're in the media you consume, but are obviously never going to be something you interact with. But it just made me remember all those movies I watched where someone goes into quicksand and you're like,
I kind of wondered how they filmed that because I know so much of it was on location per kind of, getting some
what they
intimate time with us. But did they make him go into a dirty, nasty goop swamp, or was that in a studio?
That was
because
probably
it looks gross.
that's got to be a studio.
There's stuff all over it somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. He's in there for a while. I don't know where she is. I don't know how she knows he's in there because he sinks for just a little too long, if I'm being honest.
He's sinking. Yeah.
It could be like right before he's about to go under or right when he goes under and you're just like, and then it's like, because he's under there for so long and he's going, "Call," again, shouting her name. She doesn't care to answer. And then how does he see the stick? Because she pushes the branch down
Yeah.
and he grabs for it. You cannot see that.
Yeah, that the logistics of all that didn't really make sense. Plus, the sort of intercut thing that she's doing at this time is she's taking on a little raptor guy.
Yep.
With her bombs, she's devised this plan where she's going to trap it in a log.
Yeah.
And then throw 20 bombs into the log. And you're like, I think you even said, all of them?
Yeah, I did.
In the theater. No one heard it but me, but because the theater was so loud. He said it really loud.
It was the loudest movie I've ever been to, and I said it as loud as I wanted to. I was just surprised because we see what one can do, right?
Yeah, blows a hole in a cave.
And then
All
he
for a
goes,
little baby.
This is what this does. So then she goes, oh, there's a little one. And she just dumps all her marbles, if I may
Yeah,
be so bold, into one dead log.
yeah.
And I'll say this also, guys, the explosion wasn't that big. The explosion was smaller than when he uses one.
Yeah.
There should have been a massive explosion.
Should have been huge.
And is that for her to get rid of them, or it's like, well, she's a kid, she would just be scared and dump them all in there?
But she wasn't scared enough to, she came up with a plan to trap the thing.
Yeah.
She was fearless enough to do that, which, again,
It would be cool if it was like on a cliff and she traps it on both sides and then kicks it off the edge.
Well, my
Right?
thing was she trapped it.
Yeah, she could just run away.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I don't want to promote cruelty towards dinosaurs.
No.
I'm just saying
We stand with the dinosaurs.
it's her versus the dinosaur, right?
Yes.
And she blows it up. I'm just suggesting kind of a cool, like, she kicks it off a cliff.
Yeah.
And now I sound like,
No,
hey,
they get it.
Reddit, am I the asshole? I think you should kick dinosaurs off cliffs. That's not what I'm saying.
So, I don't know. And we didn't even hear, I don't think, I'd have to watch it again. I heard every second of this movie, but I didn't hear when she's doing that with the dino, Koa,
Yeah.
Koa. That would have at least connected these two scenes a little better
That's
for me.
the problem. The tense, the trying to make the scene as tense as possible for us trumped the believability of it at all.
Yeah.
You don't hear, and you could do that, and it could still be scary. He's still getting sucked into a tar pit. All of a sudden, we're going to go to La Brea 65 million years in the future, and it's going to be a couple woolly mammoths.
Yeah.
And the guy?
You're like, dang, you've been out there no time.
And then the dad's like, come on, kids, we're going to go to In-N-Out Burger. I mean, this is L.A., people.
Yeah.
This is California these days. Mindfear Newsome is out there going, I'm just having a little fun. Hey, what do you guys think about
So, what else?
What else?
He comes out. She's covered in stuff.
So thirsty.
No, wait. He's covered in stuff. This is where I thought, did I say this on this or the other one?
Hit me with it and I'll let you know.
She gets, from the earlier scene, he gets the sticky stuff and he says, shit. And she's like, shit.
Yeah.
She learns shit. And then I thought at this point, he would be pulled out of the thing and he hugs her and she's like, shit. Something like that.
Something where it comes back. No, but it's
I was
actually
glad that it didn't. I thought it was going to. I was waiting for it, but it
well,
didn't.
it's actually him that does it later.
Yes, he does it later.
And it's funny.
It is funny. Although, oh, yeah. It is funny.
Shit.
Yeah. It's funny.
Shit.
In that way, it does kind of feel like it does need paid off for her to say it again.
Oh, so you're sort of someone that likes payola.
Now I'm like, God, maybe she should have, when his gun's out and he goes, shit. She is watching it and she says shit. I don't know. Maybe there's something there. Maybe they tried it.
This is
and
your
it didn't
big
work.
thing with the movie?
No.
The kid didn't swear enough for you?
No, I just thought,
Go watch The Last of Us. There's a little 12-year-old that's actually 19 or something, and she's swearing like a sailor.
yeah. Okay.
Swear words akimbo. I think that means...
So then what? I don't know. They're almost near the thing.
Yes, they're getting closer and closer and closer.
they get to the thing.
We're learning about his daughter's passed away. We've gotten all this. We understand.
They
at this
show
point, right?
They show some flashbacks of like, which at this point they did. I thought they did one too many flashbacks of like, we know.
When you mean when she's in the hospital bed?
Yeah, and she's like, I think I'm gonna die now. Or I don't
Yeah.
know. It just, but again, that's kind of some these studio movies. You gotta hit us over the head with it sometimes. Right. But so that's fine. They climb up. They get into the escape pod.
We do a big important thing here that I think we've been glossing over. He sees a huge asteroid coming.
Oh yeah,
which we as smart humans that have evolved from the Neanderthal brain,
yes,
are smooth, got wrinkles, right?
Are smooth become wrinkled.
So we're like, and then I thought this was cool. I was like, they landed on Earth the day that the dinosaurs go extinct.
Yeah,
that's cool. And I thought that in the moment, I'm like, this is how you show this, because we've seen this done before. We've seen Disney's Dinosaurs or whatever.
Yeah.
Disney's Dinosaur, which I had a little puppet of from McDonald's. Okay. It was too small even for my child hand, but I could put my little hand up there and go, "Arr!"
Sure.
2 for 1. 2 for 1. 2 or nothing.
2 or nothing.
Polly want the cracker. 2 for, No. So, okay. Lana says no. So this is how you do it. How do you show us this event? Right? You bring someone from a different planet the day that it's happening.
Yeah.
And you see it from their eyes. And this is why they didn't know about this thing that was going to be in this area.
Right.
I mean, I still don't know about that completely, because it's like, well, just because it's coming to hit Earth doesn't mean they wouldn't have known about it.
Yeah.
Right? But whatever. It's understood that the thing that made them crash is part of this larger asteroid, that's just cool.
It is cool.
I love a movie where you see Earth explode.
Yeah. It's
like,
awesome.
every year we get better graphics and we get closer to just like this crazy Earth. And it is scary. All these dinosaurs we've come to know throughout the movie. Mm. You go, that's it. This is their last. Yeah. This is it.
You feel bad for the guys.
And you always think, hey, that's it. That's all it takes. Like, it's not that big of an asteroid, right? I mean, it doesn't take that much to just
huge.
Wipe us all out.
Yeah.
I think the asteroid would have to be as big as Earth.
Well, you'd be wrong.
2 balls smashing together in the sky, and then it zooms out, and it's like Jackass 5, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay, we learned this is coming. So not only do they need to get to the escape pod, because it's like, yeah, the dinos are going to get us. It's also like, yeah, there's something going to hit the Earth.
You have what we like to call a ticking time bomb. Mm-hmm. A ticking clock. Something a good movie should always have. Now, this movie, again, with a little heavy-handedness that I found amusing and, I mean, certainly intentional, but it was kind of like, yeah, I get it. In the score, there's literally at the big finale, and they're racing to get when all the asteroids are coming down, whatever. Mm. There's literally a,
which Landon, as if all of them wasn't loud enough. Landon turns to me and goes, literally a ticking clock. Something I didn't really pick up on until then. And then it's all I could hear.
Yeah.
And it was funny.
Yeah.
And in our loud theater and surround sound, and it's funny. But then all the little asteroids start coming down. It's cool.
One more thing that I had a problem with, and then I'm done having problems with the movie.
I'm not.
Oh.
Actually, maybe I am.
They get to the escape pod. It's going to work. And he tells her, look, your family's dead, whatever, but come with me. And she's eventually is like, okay, fine. Because what else are you going to do? Yeah, right. Of course. So they get in, and then the freaking spacecraft falls down a thing, and then they're upside down. And it's like, I'm sorry, you can't take off now. You're upside down. They're like, shit. No, but they could have said it there. There's so many times you could have said it, but they didn't. I appreciate it. But so he goes out to
push it over.
What's he do? Oh, does the T-Rex come? And he's like, I got to go get my gun for some reason. His gun is out in the yard.
Yeah, I wasn't sure why his gun was out there. Did it fly out of the pod?
I guess. So he runs and grabs it to kill the T-Rex.
There's a lot of climactic, maybe cliches happening all at once, where his gun's too far to reach.
Yeah.
When he gets it, much like when you need to use a car and it doesn't work all of a sudden.
Yeah.
His gun doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like it's he has to hit the play button over and over again.
Yeah.
Then I'm just waiting for like the T-Rex to. I know something's gonna right the ship, and it is funny that it's upside down and then perfectly it rolls over.
Well, this is my issue because I'm fine, you know.
But I still think it's fun.
Yeah, of
when
course.
it does that and he turns and sees that it's blue again.
Yeah,
Like,
it turns from red.
you're like, yeah,
From red, not to green. That would be a bridge too far. But blue is.
well, no, because that's like that's Earth
that's
stuff.
Earth stuff. Blue means go on Momoa.
It sure does.
So he kills one T-Rex, then another one comes, and I think he kills that one or knocks it down, and then another one comes.
Yeah,
Or is that one of the ones he knocked down? I don't know.
well? Because then a second or the third one comes and you see its eye, and it's like,
oh
that's
yeah,
the
that's
one
right.
he shot.
That's the one he shot
So
from earlier.
3 came.
Yeah, 3 T-Rexes. You're like, jeez.
Yeah.
We've been fighting little lizards this whole time. There's 3 T-Rexes waiting for takeoff. I don't know. It seems kind of... But I get it. It's a movie. So my issue with the turning the thing over, I wish that one or the other, her or him, would have had some active role in tricking it to turn it over or something. I know that the dinosaur has to turn it over. There's no other way for them to turn this thing over.
Well, it's heavy. It's a rocket ship.
I would have liked to have had something that he taught her, the whistle, something, anything, something that he taught her or she taught him, be the actual catalyst for the dinosaur to turn its attention back to the ship and turn it over. Because as it is now, the dinosaur just kind of goes over there and rights the ship. Basically for no, like it's trying to get in, I guess, but
There's an air of passiveness through some of the scenes where the heroes are not engaged. Things are just happening in terms of she could have some sort of final, like you're saying. She gets out and she like waves it over or does something. Something like that happens because now it's just sort of by chance. It's like, crap, the thing is upside down. We can't get off, but I can stall a little longer, right?
Right.
And then she's just in there, like upside down, and her head's getting all red because the blood's flowing up there. Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I think that was completely wrong of them.
Well, then the movie does. Here's another time where I think we probably didn't need this part either because the movie does give both of them their heroic moment again, but it could have just happened there and then the movie could have been over. But we have this extended extra part where he says, take off. She says, no. He takes the T-Rex to chase him through to the little Yellowstone part where the geyser will blast your head off. So he's going to blast the dinosaur's skin completely melted off its body. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
She comes out of nowhere, stabs it in the other eye, right?
With the poison stick.
With the poison,
poison bone.
Yeah, she comes.
Which I forgot about. I was waiting. I was like, it's Octoon Baby's stick.
Yes.
If Octoon Baby's stick appears in the first part of a script, it must go off at the end of the script.
Exactly. And here it does.
And here it does.
She enacts her Octoon Baby stick into the eye of the one-eyed dragon. And then the geyser goes off again.
Yeah.
And does work this time.
I didn't know that the geysers were going off this actively. I'm not going to Yellowstone if that's the case because I know they kill people.
It's scary,
But
man.
then this time it's enough.
This time it's hot enough
to give it the Raimi, the Raimi stamp of approval, where he's like, goopy,
melty and goopy.
It looks cool.
It looks great.
There's some gross things in this movie that I was not expecting, and it's
hey.
an interesting way to kill a dino.
Indeed.
How do you kill a dino like the one in this movie?
And it is paid off from something that was set up earlier.
And you like payola.
Which that was my one other little when he
They're
first
gonna not listen to our review.
when he first sees the corpse or the skeletal remains of some dinosaur that was destroyed by the geyser. The camera tracks in with him kind of on a close up when he what's this? He bends down and picks up
A little tooth.
and then the camera tracks back and reveals the world's most giant skeletal remains of a giant dinosaur. And he's like, he didn't see that, but he's picked up a tooth.
Imagine this. If you're not understanding what we're saying, imagine you are walking up to, let's say, where does Elvis live? Graceland?
Graceland.
Okay, well, so you walk up to Graceland and you're walking for a couple, like let's say a mile. It's just out there. And you get up to it and you get confused and you look down and you pick up the welcome mat.
Yeah.
And you go, what is this doing out here?
Yeah.
And then you look back up, a house.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we get here.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I mean, it's cool for the audience because we get the little pan through that, but it's like, why didn't he just see that?
Yeah.
Why didn't he just come over a hill? I know, me and hills and cliffs.
This guy's obsessed with a cliff and going off them.
And going off them and going over them. So he gets up there and he just goes, what the?
Well,
right?
He could just come out of the forest and see a giant.
Because he's from Momoa. They might just have just what Sonic's friend, tails.
Yeah.
They might just have like squirrels with 9 tails.
Sure.
He's never seen something this big.
It's just funny. I mean, it's a good shot for a movie. It was just funny because it is like one footstep away from the whole
It doesn't make
carcass.
sense because he walked up to it.
Yeah. So anyway, okay.
Okay, so now let's go 75 minutes back to where we were.
Okay. They kill the dino.
Melty.
It melts. They get back on the ship. The world's largest asteroid is coming down and they're taking off. And you're like, Jesus. Like, we know they're going to make it, but it's still, it's really good work.
Because what if they don't? What if they are humans' ancestors?
It could
right?
be. And up until that point, I'm still thinking, how are they going to get around the fact that these two make humans?
That's what I was.
Because I just had that in my mind that's what the movie was, but it's not.
Because she draws the humans, all that. But he gets her off.
The planet.
We can assume.
Planet.
We can assume, right?
The planet. They get up.
We can assume he gets her back to Momoa.
Momoa. Yes. And then the movie kind of abruptly, we don't get to see any of that.
No.
Which is fine. I like that. We know that the people from Momoa have sent a ship. They're going to pick him up. They're going to pick up their
It
escape.
would be interesting.
And we have a wonderful little moment where they're kind of looking at each other and reassuring each other, and then they hold hands, and your heart just melts a little.
And they both say shit.
And they both, yeah.
And Landon stands up and he goes, "Oh, Doyle rules." Then we get the little montage at the end of the little time lapse of like, this is the earth and now it's growing, everything's going back. So you get to see like, that's where they were.
Then the Ice Age happened. Then
They could have been in your backyard.
and then a city.
And then Denver, Colorado's over there.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm like, oh, what if they had a little DNA or something, you know? Where did humans come from?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
It could have been, man.
How did a asteroid destroy all the dinosaurs? Okay. But then where did life come from then?
I think
Is it them?
I think so. Maybe there is a post-credit scene where it does kind of push in past an Arby's through the Starbucks that the Neanderthals were warned about and into a little
This is one of the Arby's where there's a Starbucks inside.
yeah.
Okay.
And then it goes like down the toilet into the like insides.
Yes, you go through the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah. And then it goes to a cave wall and it's the drawing.
The little family drawing.
And then it pans down and you see one of her hairs. And then it reverses back to 65 million years ago.
Yeah.
And then it presses play again.
What were you confused about? The name of the movie is 65.
And then it presses you see it come up like a DVD thing. And it presses play again.
Yeah, you see.
And then we see the hair
Yeah.
slowly, like, you know, those videos where plants are time lapse.
Yeah.
And you see, like, they're all kind of jittery.
And then it gets covered in water and it kind of
Yeah.
starts
So
to-
the hair starts to grow and it pops an arm out and and then it becomes a human.
I was gonna say maybe they show the two drawings on the cave, the two people, and then it pans out and you see people like behind the tape, you know, like on a tour seeing it.
Look, yeah.
But they're like the drawings are like 3 stories tall, and so you realize that these people were giants, and the T-Rexes are bigger than you could ever imagine.
Oh my
'Cause
God.
Every dinosaur that means had to be scaled up, and you're like. And then people are, you know, like when giants walk the earth, they're kind of giving a lecture about it, and
Or it's like on a pebble. And they're like, this is actually the first cave drawing.
yeah, and they're
Everyone
like,
was tiny.
Here's a picture of the world's first lizard, and it's like what they thought was a T-Rex.
Yeah.
Is a little lizard. Those are just some ideas we
Just
wanted to
for
give
this-
you guys.
yeah.
We
If you
liked your movie.
We liked your movie. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I do. I think yes, we've grown up. It's true. There's not many dinosaur movies.
Yeah.
We keep getting Jurassic Worlds, and people keep saying we don't.
These aren't doing it.
They're not
anymore.
doing it for me. They make a lot of money,
Yeah.
but
so-
no one seems to like them. This is an interesting way, and there is an introspective story. The story about the guy's daughter dies while he's away on work. Can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Her family's dead. Okay. And we get this interesting look at the world on the last day of the dinosaurs.
Yeah. And what I do like is that because so often now it's like, well, this movie is actually about the interpersonal trauma of when, you know, whatever. It's like,
Pinky met the brain.
it's like, well, actually, maybe it's just a horror movie. Maybe that's it. And that's fine too. And I think this gives you that more, and they kind of spoke to this too, of like, it is a dinosaur movie and it is fun and it should just be enjoyed. But for those of you wanting a little more, there is that extra layer. Because when you look at like Jurassic Park, is there anything more?
Well, no, but it was such a that's the problem. The spectacle of the first one was like, I can't believe I'm seeing this.
Right.
I can't believe they've made this.
And now you can render it out on
Exactly.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, you say, make me a photo of a dinosaur. And it does, and it has human teeth. And it's got SpongeBob's legs. And you go, that's what I wanted. So that's what else is in there to find? Because all the Jurassic World movies now are just the dinosaurs are escaped
Yeah.
and they have to fight them.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do with that. It's just like the Transformers movie where it's like the spectacle of it is kind of gone because it's just everything is being thrown at it.
Yeah.
There's no story that's important to me.
Yeah.
But then you scale it back like Bumblebee, which I haven't seen.
No, but I've heard is
But I've
better
heard-
than the other ones.
Yes. Exactly. We want small scale dinosaur movies like this.
Well, and what's so great about this too is that apparently it was not that expensive of a movie. I mean, it's expensive, but it wasn't not like a Jurassic World where it's like $2 billion to
Right.
make the movie. But it looks great because they are specific and deliberate about how they're showing these things. The tension is in the moments with the actors reacting to what's happening. The tension is built around like camera movement and showing and not showing. Like it's pretty, for all the things that I said didn't exactly work for me, almost all of it did. Because it's pretty, especially for like younger directors. I felt like it was pretty. I've seen a lot of horror movies where they don't get it right.
Yeah.
As far as where to put the camera and like how to frame things and block things. I felt like this was great. Like all of the scenes, I know what's going to happen, but it was still made me tense. That's all you need.
Yeah. I don't think I can add anything to that. Seeing a dinosaur, a T-Rex in the lightning is always going to be scary when you see how big it is.
It's so, yeah.
You go, that's big. That's the Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it does work. There's something special about just seeing a dinosaur.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone. We hope you give it a solid 8, 7, 7.5.
I gave it an 8. I think I'm going to stick by it. I'm giving it an 8. A short, well written, well conceived,
I don't think I brought up in this episode,
barn burner of a movie. Go ahead.
and I don't think anyone that cares is still listening.
No.
But I have to reiterate how much fun we had in the theater.
Yes.
Because if you can go see a bad movie, and it's like, oh, it was just like an action movie with dinosaurs, and it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
But we were, and it was loud. It was the loudest movie.
Yeah.
But the jump scares, I was like laughing because I couldn't believe how scared I got.
Yeah.
At some points, it was just fun to go see.
Yeah.
And what else do you want? We went and saw The Whale the week before this.
Yeah.
And I had to leave that going, oh, thanks, Landon. Thanks for inviting.
It was weird that you kept jumping and laughing during The Whale, but it made more sense during this movie.
Yeah.
It's like, just calm down. It's a quiet, introspective drama about addiction and hope.
I think it was the ranch on the pizza thing.
Yeah.
So.
I give it an 8. You give it a 7?
7.5.
That's a pretty damn good score.
I feel like I have to give it an 8. I feel like if
You don't
I give
have
it
to.
a 7.5, I'm going to think about it all night.
Okay. So what? You gave it an 8?
Yeah.
All right. I give it a 7.5.
Bye.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.